Welcome, Cancer, to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 25th of March for the Ascendant, the Sun, or the Moon. This week begins with that mighty event of the penumbral lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra. But we had a solar eclipse in that sign last October, and this lunar eclipse is the outcome of that period, which gave you an opportunity to set your intentions about where you lived, who you lived with and how, or around shaping your environment in any part of your situation, but most of all encouraging you to be in touch with how things feel, which of course is something that you have a gift for, but sometimes that can get lost in all the pressures and competing demands that modern life tends to throw at us. So as we begin this week with the cluster of energy in the sign of Aries, including the Sun and Mercury, and of course also the North Node and Chiron, they're asking you to think about your connection to the wider world, but it's important that that connection is one that you're comfortable with. So as much as that solar eclipse last October was at a more personal level, how it's playing out at the moment may be how you feel in terms of the recognition you have, the respect you have from others, what your professional situation is like. Are you working in an environment which is supportive or alienates you? And these are big questions to grapple with at this particular time. But what's going to help you, Cancer, is late last week, Mars, the planet of drive, of passion, moved into your ninth house. Now, you've had a lot of energy in the ninth house recently, but some of it has been tricky energy because, of course, Saturn's there and the Sun applied to Neptune, and there may have been some confusion about certain issues. But Mars moving into your ninth house is going to give you a lot of extra fire when it comes to being adventurous, independent, going towards any travel plans, and really finding the extra motivation around that. It's possible too, around your professional situation, that you are attracted at this time to do something completely different and fresh. And especially if you're not feeling very fulfilled at that more emotional level. So there's a lot to calibrate this week. Also, late last week, there was a glorious link between Venus in your ninth house and Jupiter in your 11th. Is there one friend that you have a connection with that is really, really supportive? It may be that you have a shared interest in a hobby. It may be around a cause. It's possible that you may even think about heading off somewhere at the start of this week with someone, whether it is having a day out or going somewhere for a longer haul vacation. It's a really brilliant time to do that for sure. But as this week goes on, Venus starts to apply to Uranus in your sector of the long term and also your friendships. And something could happen in a very quick way which has some providence attached to it. So some good fortune is definitely a possibility this week, even if you are trying to toggle between how things feel and how you need to apply your energies in the outer part of your life activities. So the big takeout, I feel, is that if things aren't working for you, there's enough thrust in your ninth house of change and enough energy to give you the extra confidence to change things up if you need to do that. Also, by the end of the week, Jupiter and Uranus start to edge closer together within 3 degrees. They're going to come into an exact alliance on the 21st of April. But Mercury, the planet of communication, is in its pre-retrograde shadow phase now, but it's supported quite magnificently by Neptune. So even if your professional situation isn't moving quite at the pace you want, just know that your instincts are likely to be very reliable. And that obviously can feed into the communications that you have. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Cancer. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great week. If you've yet to subscribe, I'd be honoured if you did now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol.